This is the second part of my video lecture on errors, which is a part of the syllabus of class 11th physics. In this video, we will learn how to deal with expressions involving addition, subtraction, product, division, or powers of two or more of measured values. Okay. Here we will basically learn how to write the result of these calculations with proper error limits. Okay. So let's start with addition and subtraction, because the rule for addition and subtraction is same. No matter whether you are adding or subtracting two physical quantities, their errors will always be added. Remember, their errors will always be added if you are adding or subtracting two physical quantities. Let's take an example. Let's say we have a resistance with value 5 plus minus 0.2 ohm. What is 5? This is a true value, and what is this 0.2? This is the mean absolute error. We always write any measured value in the form of true value plus minus mean absolute error, right? This is the standard way of writing any measured value. True value or mean value plus minus mean absolute error. Okay, so let's say two resistances are in series. The value of first is 5 plus minus 0.2 ohm, and the value of second is 10 plus minus 0.1 ohm. Now if I ask you to find the resultant of these two resistances, what you will do? You will simply add them together to find the resultant. That is, R is equals to R1 plus R2. Okay, this would be equals to 5 plus minus 0.2 plus 10 plus minus 0.1. Now, since we are adding, first we will add the true values. 5 plus 10 is 15. Now we will put the proper error limit by adding both the errors. 0.2 plus 0.1 is 0.3. So this is the resultant resistance. Okay, the resultant of these two resistances are this. Even in case of subtraction, we will add the error limits. Okay, let's take an example of subtraction also. Let's say there is a mass with a value of 20 kilogram, and there is another mass with a value of, let's say this M1 is 20 plus minus 0.1 kilogram, and there is another mass M2 with value of 30 plus minus 0.2 kilogram. Okay, now suppose we want to do M2 minus M1. Okay, then in this case what we will do, we will first subtract their, since we are subtracting, so I will subtract 30 minus 20. Okay, then I will add the proper error limit by adding their respective errors together. So 0.1 plus 0.2 is 0.3. So the answer is 10 plus minus 0.3 kilogram. This is the result of subtraction of these two masses. See, even in case of subtraction, we have added the respective mean absolute errors. Okay, no matter whether you are doing addition or subtraction, the errors are always added. The true values are added if you are doing addition, and they are subtracted if you are doing subtraction. Okay, but the errors are always added. Remember that. Now let's talk about the rules for multiplication and division of measured values. Suppose you want to multiply two measured values A and B, both with proper error limit. A is something like A plus minus delta A, that is true value plus minus mean absolute error for A, and B is in the form of B plus minus delta B. Okay, now if you want to multiply these together, then you have to remember this formula to get your result. The relative error in Z, that means the relative error in your answer, in your result of the multiplication of A and B, is equals to the relative error in A plus the relative error in B. We know that relative error is delta Z upon Z, means mean absolute error in Z divided by the true value of Z. Okay, similarly, relative error in A is mean absolute error in A upon the true value of A. Relative error in B is mean absolute error in B upon the true value of B. The rule for division is also same. If you want to divide two physical quantities with proper error limit, again A is expressed something like A plus minus delta A, and B is expressed something like B plus minus delta B. Then the result of A by B can be found out with proper error limit with this formula, the same formula that we have applied in case of multiplication. The same formula is applicable for division also. So the rule for product and division is same. Okay, let's take few examples to make our concept clear. Till now we have seen how to add and subtract two or more measured values and write the result with proper error limits. Now we will see how to multiply two or more measured values and write the result with proper error limits. Okay, here a scale is being used to measure the length and breadth of a rectangle, the true value of which are 35.4 centimeter and 18.4 centimeter respectively. The error in the scale is 0.2 centimeter. This is the mean absolute error, obviously. Okay, we have to find the relative and percentage error of the area calculated. So length is 35.4 true value plus minus mean absolute error in the scale 0.2 centimeter. Okay, breadth is 18.4 centimeter true value plus minus mean absolute error for the measurement 0.2 centimeter. Now area is length into breadth, that is 35.4 into 18.4, that would be equals to 651.36 centimeter square. Okay, now we have to write, see, it is not being asked in this question to write the area with proper limit. Area with proper limit would be what? A plus minus mean absolute error in area. So here we have only find the true value of area. To find delta A, we will apply the formula, that is the relative error in A is equals to the relative error in L, delta L upon L, plus the relative error in B, that is breadth, delta B upon B. This implies delta A upon A would be equals to delta L upon L, that is 0.2 upon 35.4, because the mean absolute error for length is 0.2 and the true value of length is 35.4, plus the mean absolute error for breadth is also 0.2 upon the true value of the breadth is 18.4. Solving it, we will get something like 0.017. Okay, so the relative error in the area is 0.017. To find the percentage error, what we do? We simply multiply relative error with 100. So the percentage error in area would be equals to 0.017 into 100, that is 1.7%. Clear? If you were asked to write the error, if you were asked to write area with proper error limit, that means in this form, A plus minus delta A, every measured value is written in this form, true value plus minus mean absolute error. Okay, so A is 651.36, here A is 651.36 plus minus delta A. Delta A can be calculated from here, delta A upon A is 0.017, right? Delta A upon A is 0.017. This implies delta A would be equals to 0.017 multiplied by A. A is 651.36. 651.36. You can multiply these two together and get the value of delta A, and then you can write area in this form, in this standard form of writing any measured value, A plus minus delta A. Okay, I want all of you to do this and write it in your comment section. What is the answer you got? Okay, now let's solve another example where division is involved. Here we will use the same rule that we just used for multiplication. The rule is same. Okay, a current of 3.5 plus minus 0.5 ampere flows through a metallic conductor. That is, the value of current is 3.5 plus minus 0.5 ampere. Okay, and a potential difference of 21 plus minus 1 volt is applied. Find the resistance. We know that from Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. This implies resistance is equals to V upon I. That means we are dividing V and I together to get the resistance. So we know the formula for resistance. First we will get the true value of resistance. True value of resistance would be what? R is equals to simply true value of voltage, that is potential difference, that is 21 upon true value of current, that is 3.5. Okay, and by doing this we will get 8 ohms. Clear? So this is the value of R. R is equals to 8 ohm. Remember this. Now R must be expressed in this form, because since both voltage, that is potential difference, and current has some error, so R will also has some error. Clear? So R would be represented in this form, R plus the true value plus minus the mean absolute error in R. Okay, so here we got the true value for R, which is 8 ohm. To find the mean absolute error, we will use the same formula, that is from this equation, R is equals to V upon I. We get relative error in R, that is remember the rule for multiplication and division both is same. Okay, relative error in R is equals to relative error in V, relative error in voltage, plus relative error in current I, that means delta I upon I. Solving this, we will get delta R upon R equals to delta V upon V, that is 1 upon 20, plus delta I upon I, that is 0.5 upon 2.5. Okay, this will give us delta R upon R equals to 0.05 plus 0.2, that is 0.25. This is the relative error in resistance. To find the mean absolute error, the numerator is the mean absolute error, delta R. So delta R would be equals to 0.25 into R. Okay, we can get delta R would be equals to 0.25 multiplied by R, that is 0.25 multiplied by 8, that would give us 2 ohms. So in this form, the resistance can be written as the true value of resistance, that is 8 ohm, plus minus the mean absolute error in resistance, that is 2 ohm. So the resistance can be written as R is equals to what? The true value of resistance, that is 8 ohm, plus minus it was 2 ohm. Yes, I forgot it. Okay, R is equals to true value of resistance, 8 plus minus mean absolute error in resistance, that is 2 ohm. This is our final answer. The fifth rule helps us to understand how to deal with such type of expression where a physical quantity Z is a function of the product of two or more physical quantities each raised to some power. Z is equals to A raised to the power X multiplied by B raised to the power C upon C raised to the power Z. A simple formula is relative error in Z, that is delta Z upon Z, is equals to X times the relative error in A, that is we are multiplying each physical quantity with its power. The relative error in each physical quantity with its power, X times the relative error in A plus Y times the relative error in B plus Z times the relative error in C. Here it is mistakenly written minus also, please omit this. The true formula is, the correct formula is relative error in Z is equals to X times the relative error in A plus Y times the relative error in B plus Z times the relative error in C. No matter which function is in the numerator and which one is in the denominator, this formula is always valid. We always multiply the relative error of each function, the relative error of each physical quantity with the power it is raised to get the relative error of Z. Okay, let's take an example. Let's say there is a physical quantity Z which is expressed as a physical quantity A raised to the power 2 multiplied by another physical quantity B raised to the power 3 multiplied by another physical quantity C raised to the power 4 upon another physical quantity D raised to the power, let's say 3. Now it is given in the question that the percentage relative error, that we also call the percentage error in A, that means relative error multiplied by 100, that will give you the percentage error, is let's say 5%. It is given in the question. The percentage error in B is, let's say, 10%. The percentage error in C is, let's say, 6%, and the percentage error in D is, let's say, 4%. Okay, now can you find the percentage error in Z? We know that the relative error in Z is equals to 2 times the relative error in A, of course using the formula that we just learned, okay, plus 3 times the relative error in B plus 4 times the relative error in C plus 3 times the relative error in D. If we multiply both sides, the LHS and the RHS, with 100, what we will get? We will get the percentage error, that is delta Z by Z into 100. It is the percentage error in Z is equals to 2 times delta A upon A into 100, that is nothing but the percentage error in A, plus 3 times delta B upon B into 100, that is nothing but the percentage error in B multiplied by 3, plus 4 times the percentage error in C, that is this multiplied by 100, plus 3 times the percentage error in D. it would give you the percentage error in Z, which is this. The percentage error in Z will be equals to 2 times the percentage error in A, which is given in the question 5%. That means 2 into 5, plus 3 times the percentage error in B, which is given in the question 10%, plus 4 times the percentage error in C, which is given in the question 6%, plus 3 times the percentage error in D, which is 4. It would give you 10 plus 30 plus 24 plus 12, that is 36, 46, 56, 66, 76. 76% is the percentage error in Z. Okay. From this expression, you can find the mean absolute error in Z also. If you know the value of Z, you can easily find the mean absolute error in Z also, which is delta Z. Now, 76% is the percentage error in Z. That is delta Z by Z must be what? 0.76. Only then delta Z upon Z, that is the fractional error, multiplied by 100 would give us a percentage error in Z, that is 76%. Okay, so from here, if you know the value of Z, you can easily find delta Z is equals to 0.76 multiplied by Z. This is the mean absolute error in Z. Okay, and after that, you can easily express this in the form of Z plus minus delta Z, which is the standard way of expressing any physical quantity, the true value plus minus mean absolute error. Clear?